Where else?
Hey, exactly. The motors are really good. But a lot of-
Good scrapping on the.
Yes, I can jump it up and they too. So people are like, usually we're having our get started, but we're looking for a cooler start. Got fast. Starts a lot cool.
The freeze line?
So we tell them, yeah, the batteries.
Sunday morning.
But that's okay. Once we get it running, the battery's fast. You don't need the batteries. It'll stay running. It's got a magneto.
All right, notice is hereby given of the regular meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, 6 p.m. at the district's office located here at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Brunswick, Texas. I'm going to call the meeting to order. If you don't, please stand for the invocation and pledge. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this past month, for the birth of your son, for the new year. I pray for all the citizens, for all the families, just for a great year of prosperity and health and serving and worshiping you. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the flag, and allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Okay, we have citizens' comments. Please keep the 3 minutes per person, and Paige will keep time. And we have Mr. Mark McDonald at 403 West Spreading Oaks.
So, as I'm sure many of you are aware, we had a bit of an adventure working with the district to get approval. So what I wanted to say is I first wanted to thank Fanny, right? She saved the district, all right? I don't know when annual performance reviews are, but I would like you to note that her interaction as the front line of the district answering the phone, she's the one that made it all go. Because when I got really
She's
frustrated.
missing out, if you don't mind me interrupting you, she's missing out on here.
Oh, come on, I'm talking
Come on
about
in,
you.
Fanny.
Come on, I'm talking about you.
You're getting dragged on.
So Fanny is the front line of the district. She is the face of it. All right. The board is 3 levels deeper. All right. We don't see you until here. All right. But when I called to call Fanny and I said, you and I are going to be best friends. The only thing I can do is call you every day to solve these problems. She's the one that squeaks the wheel for me. She's the one that did the work. She's the one. And yeah, Scott, I know you're the engineer and I know Randy and I know, and Paige got everything else. But if it weren't for Fanny, I would have been writing letters to God and kingdom and just raising holy hell. All right. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge Fanny. Paige got involved, kicked some shins for me, got some things. Randy, Scott, everybody ended up involved to get it to the finish line and to get us to here. But I would have been remiss because Paige is Paige. She's the boss. She gets acknowledgement. And Randy's the director. It's got it. But it was a wrong play to come here and not acknowledge Fanny. And she is honestly your most valuable player on the team. So that's what I wanted to say.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fanny.
Yes, thank you, Fanny.
Did anybody else? Is that all? Just one? Mr. McDonald?
That's everybody that I have, although we have Angel Murphy here from Galveston Drainage District 2 in Lamarck. If she'd like to say anything.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Would you like to say anything?
Your board members for inviting. We seem to be helping each other a lot. So this is not my first time here, but it's always a pleasure to come.
Welcome. Thank you. All righty. We'll move on to the board of directors report. Mr. Gibson?
Hope everyone had a good holiday season and Hope everyone has a prosperous new year. That's all I have.
Likewise, God bless everybody. Hope you have a pleasant new year. Hope everybody's healthy. I did have an interesting article I read about what happens to somebody if they spend extended time in space. And they've studied it, and apparently the brain becomes elongated. So just want to throw that out there. Could explain a few things, or maybe not. I'm trying to keep it clean, Melissa. Also, for those folks that look for their freedom over in Iran and just watch the guy, their foreign minister, the Democrats ought to hire that guy. He can spin a story. Anyway, pray for those folks and the other people in the world that I just thank God we have a president that's got some cojones, because, Truman let the communists off in Russia. We've let China off. MacArthur, got fired. Truman fired him. He couldn't take care of North Korea. Jimmy Carter gives Iran up in the Panama Canal. And we're still dealing with these problems. And I don't know how many, 1950 is when the armistice, or 51 was when the the peace was made. Anyway, I just, I was in New York on 9/11. I watched those buildings come down. It was unbelievable. Part of me prayed that one that went down in Pennsylvania would have made it to the Capitol with all those bastards in there, that we could have started over. But I just encourage people to vote for people who give a damn. And I think we need term limits. I think they should be subject to all the same rules, regulations, healthcare, everything. And I just don't understand why somebody goes up there making less than $200,000 and in 2 years they're worth $2 million. I'd like to, I guess we should all follow Hillary's investment plan and Pelosi's investment plan. As far as here, I'm anxious to get the IDRC. I know they're crunching the numbers. I'm anxious to get that data back. I'd like to ask the board and our staff let's get them in here for a progress report with pictures and some measurements, and so that and I know we put it out on the flyer, but I'd like to have and that'd be a long presentation, but just something we can show that we're making some progress, and maybe some measurements, like, hey, like Randy discovered when he dug that bank out, how much silt had been in there. And anyway, I had my rest. I'm charged up again. I'm ready to go back to court and say, hey, y'all need to clean these creeks out. We need to get after this. Let's, talk's cheap, and we've been talking for way too long. And we got away this year without a storm. Pray to the Lord that we don't have enough, have one this year. Anyway, thank you so much for, and Fanny, thank you for being the face. I usually tell people, if you want to praise somebody, call me. If you want to complain, call Fanny. Unfortunately, in this instance, you called her, and thank you so much. You are the face. When you answer the phone, that's the most important person in the world to our constituent. Okay. And so thank you. That's all I have. Thanks, Dave. Kim?
Happy New Year. It's January. I hope y'all had a wonderful holiday, and we're ready to get going this year. And I'm excited about football right now. I'm a little bit excited about what's going to be happening this weekend with the Texans and going to New England. That's exciting. I'm a sports girl, so basketball, U of H is going strong. So, hey, let's enjoy January and February.
Jones?
Echo the same. Hope everyone had a good holiday season. I save up my PTO so that during December I don't go to work, but instead I was really busy. So I didn't post the pictures because I never got around to it. That part I was lazy, but lots of events, shaking lots of hands, speaking to everyone you can in the county to try to build relationships for the future. There's a lot going on. Big elections coming up. We're going to have elections coming up. The city has elections coming up. There's big primaries coming up right now. Many of us will be at the district attorney debate tomorrow night. So I always ask that people get involved. So we got involved and that's how we got stuck up here. So this is our first time to meet on Wednesday night, which is nice, which will also open us up to visit more events around the county. So,
All right. Once again, I appreciate y'all coming. We do have elections coming up. So we have 2 board members up here. I'm up for election in May of 2026 here. I think Mr. Gibson's seat's up over there. I will be seeking to finish some stuff that I've started, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So I will be running for re-election. I'm not sure about Mr. Gibson. I don't get in people's business, but I will say that what David talked about IDRT and the results we're going to get from them are going to be very important. We might even expand some of their scope on the drone that they've been flying. So they have this really awesome drone. There's a video on our stuff, but it's fast. It's a fast drone, but it has some really, really good technology in it that's going to identify some big problems for hydrology flow in the creek combined with the sediment. So when you're talking about sediment, when we're on Coward's Creek or we're on Mary's Creek or we're on Chigger Creek, these tributaries and ditches and stuff, we know they sediment and we see it. And we've had a couple of these creeks, we've done bank repairs and stuff, and we've gone out there and we can see some old pavers that probably was put down when I was a kid here in Friendswood, growing up around here. And the pavers actually would have 3 and 4 feet of dirt underneath it, above it. And how do we know that? Because when we dug them out with the bucket, with the track hoe, we can set the bucket down and you can see, a half-yard bucket, you can see how far it goes up the beam. So anyway, that sediment, we pulled a car out of Clear Creek about just inside the League City limits, probably honestly, only about 2 miles down the creek from my house. It was a Hyundai. It was it was stolen, put in the creek during Harvey, right after Harvey. Leaks. We found it with our side sonar, but all we saw when we were doing the side sonar scan, and this is for our sedimentation study on the creek and our hydrology flow, when we were mapping the creek, all we saw were the wilts. The whole car was underneath the mud and muck of the creek. And we've had this conversation with the Corps. So this is going to be a critical component of our sedimentation study along with hydrology and flow and the gates and pumps that were on the back half of the coastal spine of the formerly Ike Dike that we want to move forward for riverine flooding. The main thing I want people to understand is our segmented hodgepodge, not herding the cats for 50 years. And I've talked to Mr. Ross about this. The way we've gone about things since I'm 57, hasn't served us very well in the Clear Creek watershed. Until we have a comprehensive solution on the creek that addresses all the jurisdictions up and down the creek to the bay with controlled tidal influence, we will not have a solution for the people on the Clear Creek watershed, no more of a solution for the people in the Dixon Bayou one. Here's the sad thing. Friendswood probably produces the least amount of water of any city on that watershed into that creek. Yet we are a belly in the pipe and we face a disproportionate amount of carnage and damage when we had these flooding episodes. We did in 79, we did in 2001, and we surely did in 2017 when Kim and I had 3 foot of dirty water running right through the middle of our house. And I rescued her and her dog with a boat. So
Literally canoe through my front door.
literally, but a lot of people did. No big deal. It was commonplace for those 3 days. So until we get that going, there's no doubt. Listen, I'm not dumb. I hadn't raised taxes in 2 years, going on 3 now, not $1 We operate a real lean machine around here, but I have a great staff and we've elevated our game with our educated staff and what we do. It's because we've cut out some projects that weren't studied, weren't engineered. It didn't make a difference of lowering the water surface elevation. However, and I've talked to Mr. Ross about this, we are trying to be the thought leaders in the region, but we are definitely not the money leaders. And we never will be with me sitting in this seat. We're not going to tax the citizens to death. We're going to stay in our lane on spending your money. But we're not going to stay in our lane of being vocal about solutions to save your lives and your property. And we're not going to be quiet on that. So, and I'm not quiet. And I think people know I'm not quiet. Now, I think it makes them uncomfortable. But that's good. I like uncomfortable. So term limits, I'm glad you brought that up. We passed term limits. We've already done that. So we passed the term limits. I don't think I should sit here. I don't think Jason, I don't think anybody should sit here past 3 terms. I think that's enough. They had to talk me into it. I wanted to. I think you need new people, new ideas, and keep the energy going. Modern professional, you're seeing them. I like the fact that we have some trucks on our agenda today. We sold $170,000 worth of equipment we weren't using to pay for those trucks. That's the approach I like. That's what I do at my household. And, you know, you sell stuff you don't use to buy stuff that you will use. Makes sense. So anyway, we will continue to refine the budget and continue to look at ways to save money, but we aren't going to go backwards on how we interact with the public, how we're transparent, the way we communicate through our letters, the way we conduct videos. So y'all have complete access to what we're doing at all times. We won't cut back on the outreach. We'll cut back on the things that don't make a difference in drainage and flooding. And we will concentrate on the things that make the biggest impact on our district and our citizens who pay the bills and we answer to. So there's my report. So thank you all again for being here. All righty. Presentations, we have none today. We have no public hearings. So discussion and action items. 8A, discuss and consider approval and agreement with Galveston County for the election services as it relates to the May 2026 election. Can I put them all together? A, B, and C?
Absolutely.
Okay. B, discussion I don't want to put it all together. I'm sorry. I want to keep that separate. I want them to hear it. So do I have a motion on A?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. And he seconded my motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. B, discussion consideration, it's a request for approval of 2 new trucks replacing 2 vehicles that are fully depreciated and require repairs beyond value. Approval is not to exceed $60,000 per vehicle. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
What's the motion to do?
Motion
Motion to discuss or approve?
Approve. Motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. I covered that and what we sold. C, discussion consideration, it's a request for approval of purchase of new safer RGN trailer, replacing that heavy duty trailer that we use to move large equipment, our excavators, for example. We would no longer need to use external contractors or other entities' equipment to move the items. Approval is not to exceed $80,000. The current trailer is fully depreciated and set to be surplus for auction, like we did earlier, should this item be approved. Do I have a motion?
Motion to discuss so Randy can expand upon it.
Second. Second. Go ahead, Randy.
An RGN trailer is, we have a semi now, so we have something to pull this trailer with. An RGN trailer is a trailer that to drive an excavator up on, it's only about 1.5 feet. The trailer that we have now, it's 3.5 feet to drive an excavator up on a trailer, which the excavator's huge. Once you're on it, you can't see the trailer. It's metal tracks. The trailer's metal. So if there's any type of dew or anything on, once you get it and it lays over and falls in, it slides. So, you know, thank goodness we've not slidden off, but some of our operators are very conscious of this and are afraid of it, basically. So it's just not a safe way to move big equipment. So this RGN trailer is something that's used to move big equipment. We've never been able to move our big excavators that we leave out in the sun. They're all 20 years old. We leave them in the middle of a field. And in many cases, we could bring them in and park them underneath our shed when we're not using them. And move them across town and so forth. So we wouldn't have to rely on anybody going forward to move our equipment, nor our contractors do we have to pay to move their equipment any longer. We can move it for them. So as projects finish, we can go and get these and put them on there and move them safely. All of our guys are Class A licensed guys. So we have 2 employees that are very good at, or have been doing this for a very long time. So I feel very confident in that this is going to be a safer.
Can I ask a question, Mr. President? Is that like a float, the one you're going to buy?
It's similar to one, an RGN trailer. The front end drops off and the trailer lays back down. So, I mean, it's this high off the ground to drive it.
Safer, a lot safer.
So it's much safer. And if it does slide off, it's sliding off falling a foot.
Yeah.
It's not going to tump it over. what we have now, if it slides off, it's tumbling over.
That gives me the creeps thinking about that.
And I did when I first got here, I did watch them do it, and I said, okay, I understand now why.
Yeah.
Because it is nerve wracking. And that we never move the big equipment so our big equipment is there where it's at until, we get somebody or we pay someone to move it. So, and then in turn, the trailer that we have is a very nice trailer. It's a very heavy duty trailer. It's worth quite a bit of money. So this value of 80,000 that we found someone to make this trailer for us, I'm going to be able to cut that, almost in half once we sell that, because we will be, as soon as we get this, we will be selling that trailer.
How quick can you get the new trailer?
The new trailer, it takes about 3 to 4 months to be built.
Can we stop trying to load that thing on the wrong trailer while we're?
No, we don't do it any longer. No, I absolutely. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted, because yes, I did stop us from doing that going forward.
Go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, the consent agenda. Does anybody have anything they would like to discuss or pull out of the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Buddy. Go to resolutions. Number 10, resolution 2026-01. I need to read that. Thank you. On both of them, please.
Yes. Item 1, once approved, I'll need all 5 signatures, please. Thank you. I assume that you want to have the election.
Okay, 2026-01, resolution of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District of Galveston County, Texas, setting forth actions to authorize a joint election for the purpose of electing members of the board of directors. No motion?
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Resolution 2026-02, and this is related to the adoption of the 2025 Hazard Mitigation Plan. It's a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District adopting the 2025 Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District Plan update. No motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and well, thank you.
I'm on 177 of 247 inches.
Would you, can you do a 30-second explanation while we have these folks in here about the mitigation plan, the importance of it?
Okay, so
Short,
yeah, short. The short,
what it's cost us in the past.
Well, we just, when your hazard mitigation plan is not up to date, you do not have the ability to recover funds from FEMA or recover or have grant money given to you. And I think when I took over, we had been out of date for probably almost 6 years. So even if we would have had the opportunity, so one of the first things that I caught when we're going through the regulations, we had the opportunity to recoup some money for the citizens. We wouldn't have been able to because our hazard mitigation plan had failed to be updated. It's one of those things. It's one of those regs things when you're flying the FAA, you're flying your jet, or you just got to keep up with your certifications and stuff. And if you don't, you just forfeit the ability to.
It costs us quite a bit of reimbursement for apparel.
Although,
And that-
on a success note, Randy, now that we're in the process of doing that, we're eligible for funds. And Randy really gets in the.
Yeah, we filled out everything that FEMA needed, so we're in the process to get a return of almost 500,000.
So we're able now to receive money when we have a disaster. So that's a good position to be in.
And we have straightened up the accounting and paperwork here so we can track it. And, we don't be supposed to have done so. Just FYI.
Well, and for those of you who don't know, the last hazard mitigation plan was approved in 2012. That's how out of date it is. So
All right.
the previous boards were operating under one that was expired.
11, discussion reports from staff members. Randy?
I got a little slideshow showing some of the work that we've done. This is a bank repair that we have finished now, but this is what it looked like before. This is Cowards Creek behind the dog park at Stevenson Park. This is in between Stevenson and the dog park. You can see there, we basically lost because of the sloughing off. We've lost our road to drive our equipment across. Couldn't even drive a zero turn across there. This is part of the fixing. We did key ditches on bank repairs and put riprap in it and then compacted in so the bank won't fail again. But this is the finishing of it. And now we have where we can drive a tractor or a truck across it. This is after it's been seeded back. So it's been seeded and finished. We're in wintertime, and so obviously the creek's all the way down. Normally the creek would be above the mud down there at the bottom that you can see. This is another project that we're doing right now. This is on Cowards Creek, also right off of Stevenson Park, where the Give Me a Bark is. It's right behind Give Me a Bark, where you can pull. There's a little parking lot that you can pull in there. We can come down through the trees, and this is a bank that has sloughed off. Same situation. We weren't able to drive tractors around and could barely get a zero turn through. So we've dug that out. Same process of digging the key ditches. They'd already done the key ditches and put the riprap in before I got over there to take a picture. So I don't have that, but I do have a picture at the end of what it kind of looks like. So at the end, he's digging that key ditch, and they dig about 4 feet down, put the riprap in there, and then bring in good clay and compact it all back in. So now the bank is sturdy. And this one's not quite finished, but it is almost finished, and it'll look like the one that we had. Talking about the sediment, this is a stump that we pulled out of the creek right where we're doing that work at. The only thing you could see sticking out of the mud was a couple of limbs. So we just thought it was a small tree. That thing's as big as a truck. Once the excavator had to go in and pull it out, this huge stump came out. We could only see a couple limbs. So half of it was under the mud and silt. This is a bank repair that we're doing on Greenbrier. Our guys are actually doing this repair. This repair turned out to be, there's a small repair, it's turned out to be a big repair. There's a retention pond right to the right of that. Water's soaking out of that detention pond through the land into the creek. So we're gonna have to put French drains in this one. So we've had to dig a little bit more than we wanted to on this one. But this is the one our guys are working on. You kind of see, that's looking back at Greenbrier. It's right at the curve when you get to the end of it there. And we have quite a few bank repairs that we have on Cowards Creek here where stuff is sloughed off, and I have a feeling it's because of that detention pond. This is some of our mowing that's going on in the fall. Obviously, there's a lot less of the mowing. This is Mary's Creek, close to Clear Creek. This is Clear Creek. This is Imperial. This is the spot at Imperial. This is taken from one side, just kind of show the vastness, how big it is out there. And this one's taken from the other side, going back towards, looking back at Imperial. Though right up on those hills there is where the street's dead in Imperial. This is Clearview. This is a spot that we're mowing. This is just another spot of Clearview. And then the end part that you can see from Clearview Road. This is Mary's Creek. We just mowed it here recently. It's, you know, a lot of these spots where I'm taking these pictures, no one can get to, no one can see and really see how pretty it looks right there, and then see what it actually looks like. So it's unfortunate, but we have some really nice creek spots. And this is also Mary's Creek. I took several pictures of Mary's Creek. This is Mary's Creek right behind Kroger's, looking back at 2351. This here, I want to start showing you guys some projects that we want to do in the near future. So this is a bank repair, just similar to the first ones that I showed you. You can see this is close to Stevenson Park. You can see the sloughing off in the road. You really can't drive around anymore. We can only get a zero turn in there. And we want to build it back up to where we can get our equipment and take good care of it. That just shows how it's sloughing off into the creek here. This is one, I think I showed this on the last one, but this is one that's over in Alvin, League City area. This long, get the cursor to go. This long ditch right here is Madura ditch. We're wanting to take this piece right here and widen it a bit, lay the sides down a little bit because it has gotten very steep. This area on the other side of this fence is farmland that I'm talking with the farmer to see if we can do something with that land too, because that's it looks great from an aerial view, but you get up close, it's you can't drive on it, you can't take care of it. So when stuff gets in it, it's it's a 20-foot drop, 30-foot drop, and it's almost impossible to get the stuff out. So I would like to get it opened up a little bit where we can take great care of it. And on the other side of that road's called My Road. On the other side of the road, everything's laid back, and that goes into our big detention ponds that we have back there. Everything's laid back on that side.
So y'all know that's our Dixon Bayou League City portion of our district out.
Yeah.
Out that way.
Right off of 517.
And that's all flowing towards Dickinson Bayou. So it's our split watershed that goes down to Dickinson.
And that's it.
I want to say that we have a beautiful city, and just every time I look at those pictures, but I'm out there with Randy all the time, and I'm grown up here, but our creeks, it's so pretty back there on Kim's house and where y'all live, even by the church where I'm going to church my whole life. I'm telling you, our city's beautiful. We should protect that. If we would just have, and Mike and I talk about this all the time, proper fight for this place. If we could have proper mitigation on Clear Creek, I'm telling you, it's never going to solve all the flooding. Scott and I've talked about this, but it can go a long way if we can herd the cats towards making this place a lot more livable and cut down some of the houses and business that flood by the thousands. But it's going to take a comprehensive effort. But our city is so pretty. It's the gem of the southeast Gulf Coast of suburbs. It's worth it. It's worth every bit of the fight. So, and you can see it by these pictures every single week. Where you live, Larry, I'm telling you, all across this place. So it's worth it, and I appreciate it. So we're going to do our part on the creeks and the tributaries that we can control. But man, I'm telling you what, writing letters, getting involved, hiking, talking to Randy Weber, pounding our congressman, Dr. Bonin, and our county judge and there's officials. I'm telling you, all that and a bag of chips and more to take up for this place. It's worth it. So
They're all up for election too, so
they're listening.
they need to be.
Paige, do you and Scott, do you have something to add for the district engineer's report?
Before that, I just wanted to touch briefly that next month, we will not be having the Teams links that'll be going through Granicus Swagit. So if you notice, there are a couple new cameras that have been installed, and we're gonna have some microphones installed later this month. And so it'll stream through Swagit, which will get us a better service for our citizens who are able to watch the meetings. And then we are working on installing the agenda management portion of that, so that I know that a lot of y'all have been wanting to be able to see the materials behind our agenda, make it easier for y'all, maybe easier when you're looking at meetings in the past to index them. So if you only want to see agenda item 3B, you can click directly there instead of watching and scrolling through 2 hours of meetings. And so we're really excited to keep implementing that so that we can better serve the citizens.
Touch the truck.
Yes. Oh, and in 10 days, I hope you come out and see us. We'll have some fun equipment for families and at the Friendswood High School, I believe. There'll be the Coast Guard will be there, City of Friendswood Public Works will be there, Fire Department will be there. We'll specifically have at least an excavator, a boat, looking at maybe bringing our barge out there. It's 40 feet, so we're not quite sure if we're able to fit it in the parking lot. But families are invited, kids are invited to come in, pull the air horns, touch all the equipment. It's gonna be great. Come talk to us.
Yeah, no.
The big kids want to do that too.
Well, we'll let you on to.
You had me there.
But it's
All right.
a great event for kids. It really is. I was really surprised last year when we went and.
You were brand new too. That was-
Yeah, I hadn't even started yet and I came to the event. It was really neat.
All right, district insurance report, Mr. Scott.
All right, yeah, just moving along with reviews coming through. The big thing is we've got the survey completed, sent that to Paige today for the Baker Road facility. We're trying to button up the pipeline crossing there on Cowards Creek, just downstream of that, so we could get to work on the design of the slope paving, rebuilding that banking. Main hole up there is we had to have pipeline approval because we're right on top of them. The bank's eroded out, it's exposed their pipelines, so it's a sensitive area. Other than that, that's, just day-to-day answering questions and reviewing plans and coordinating with the developers and homeowners.
Any questions for Scott? All right, let's move on. I'm really excited to have Mr. Michael Walsh here. So Mike, City of Friendswood.
I wasn't intending to speak.
I'm sure you'll have the report on.
Actually,
Council liaison report, sir.
well, thank you for having us. Unfortunately, I missed the last meeting, but if you paid attention to the last meeting, some of you showed up. There's some activity going on City Center with some additional improvements to the Tanos properties there, or it should be really called Wolfgram properties. So they're taking those buildings from 4-story to 6 potentially and adding some more constituents in that area. And then on 2351, there was a zoning hearing case for a mixed use plan development on that property. It did not get an actual vote. It got postponed to the next month, which I will be there. So we'll get to speak and talk to the constituency about that and see what about that, get that reviewed properly. Thank you. I've been walking the creeks. I've been looking at your bank repairs. I know the one you were specifically talking about on Sugar Creek. I got some ideas. So when you're done, Randy, come talk to me because I've been walking up and down that one and I see what you're talking about. So anyways, like the elections are coming up. One of the things I always want is our citizens to participate in that. I think we had a reasonable turnout at the last election. We had about 9% of the constituency in Friendswood turn out for the city election. That's not spectacular, but at the same time, it's better than the rest of the county and the 2 counties percentages for most cities. So I know you guys have an election coming up, Mr. Gibson. I hope you decide to keep working hard and keep being a board member, but that's up to you. I understand. It's not easy. I just dropped off my HOA board, so I know it's just.
There's no process for that.
Yeah, your term's up, you just hand in your hat. So, but I mean, I think one of the things that's really important for the citizens to know, volunteering is not just a great civic duty, but it's a commitment. You've got to be prepared to roll up your sleeves and work and have some hard discussions with people. And I think from time to time, Rusty and I have some pretty hard discussions and great conversations at the end of the day, because not even one person has a solution to all our problems, and all the problems didn't get here overnight. So we've got to work for a long period of time together and make everything work. It's good.
Thank you.
Got any questions?
No, thanks, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Michael.
Okay, we don't have City of League City here, so now the board is going to go into executive session. The board of directors will conduct a closed meeting in order to seek the advice of the attorney about pending or contemplated litigation, any settlement offers, or any matter in which the duty of the attorney of the district under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct deems State Bar Clerk conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the Texas Government Code 551-07. Legal issues concerning any item listed on today's posted agenda regarding current litigation matters 25 CD 0038 and 24 CD 2406. We will reconvene the open session after executive session.
Current time is 6:37 p.m.
Thank you all.